already familiar with transistors. Just in the theoretical form, we might have studied what is a transistor, what are the types of transistor, etc. etc. Right? Now we are trying to do a case study how, what, when, where it is used. Like அது எப்படி எல்லாம் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், எங்கெல்லாம் நம்ம பண்ணுறோம். We are going to discuss a complete history on transistor. So transistor is nothing but it is a semiconductor device, right? It is a semiconductor device. It can amplify as well as it can switch or switch on or activate on. Amplify or activate on. That in electronic signals. Electronic signals are amplifying and switches are used on. So we know there are types like collector, base emitter, and different type of switches. We are going to discuss now. Let us share our complete concept on transistors. Make it as a case study from starting working principle to applications, advantages, and its entire features. Okay. Yes, who is going to start first? Yes.
So first of all, imagine the world with smartphones, computers, and wearable devices and portable devices. It's hard to think about it, right? Because the tiny inversion behind this is transistors. So in this discussion, we will explore the overview, history, and working principle and the types which we are using in the industries.
So I am going to share about the history of a transistor. A transistor was invented in 1947 at John's Birthday and William Shaw at Bell Labs. Before transistors, the vacuum tubes were used, but it was so bulky and consumed a lot of power and generated a high heat. So we avoid the vacuum tubes and we make a transistors in electronic circuits and many areas like VLSI and then semiconductor industries. So the invention of transistors is make a revolutionary and it get 3 Nobel Prize in physics at 1956.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Any other points?
I am going to share about transistor and the types of transistors. Transistor is a semiconductor device which is used to amplify or switch electronic signals. It has 3 terminals: base, collector, and emitter. It can control large current with small current input and or voltages. It is widely used in applications like amplifiers, switches, and logic gates. It consists of 2 types: bipolar junction transistor, field effect transistor. Bipolar junction transistor is a current controlled transistor. It is made up of 3 layers of semiconductors. It consists of 2 types. One is PNP and the another one is NPN. It is widely used in audio amplifier, analog electronics.
So let's come into the working principle of the transistor. The major working principle of the transistor is acts like a gatekeeper. So let's first break down the bipolar junction transistor. The bipolar junction transistor, when we give a small amount of current at the base terminal, and it will produces much more outputs in much more amplified output current at the between the collector and base terminal. So this was widely used in switches. Wherever the needed of switches we will use it. And the next part is field effect transistors, which is also known as a FET. FETs are instead of current, we are giving an input as a voltage. So it will when they apply the voltage at the input terminal, it will also amplify the voltage between the gate and source terminal. And this is also widely used in integrated circuits because of its voltage control techniques.
So coming to
I also need a discussion here to add your points. we used to call it as building blocks of electronic devices. Why? Any idea why we are calling it that? Building blocks.
Which is the first invention happened in electronics.
Yes. So with transistor you can get all the circuits. One unless or until without transistor we cannot do it. Okay. So it is named as building block of electronics. Yes, please start.
Now coming to case impact analysis, transistor transformer technology make devices smaller, faster and energy efficient also. In future trends, the nano transistor is used for AI chips and the graphene transistor is used for ultra high speed and then quantum transistor are used for the quantum computers.
In real time, the transistors are using everywhere. In mobile and laptops are using millions of transistors in their networks. And audio frequency using power supplies and sensors. And for example, in latest, the millions of transistors using in a single chip. In automobile, they are using sensors and switching cases.
This is also came for a conclusion, right? Is there any other point? Okay, now you clearly understood about what is a transistor, types of transistors, and how it is made, and the working principle of transistors and applications, features of all transistors, right? Is it?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.